All of our customers, all of our team members internally were asking for more video, and it's an area that I recognized early on. We saw such a big shift in how people preferred to receive information that users would rather receive information from video, and they were retaining it at higher levels. We're seeing the short form, even on YouTube, that are under 10, 15 seconds that are winning right now. Marketers by far have one of the toughest jobs right now. Everybody else in our companies have strong opinions about how we should be doing our job with how much information is available and how much AI has changed and bridged the learning gap. Our target customer is anyone with a cell phone and a credit card. It's on us as leaders to actually put those right assets in place, create the high media consumption rate, and then create the checkout when someone is ready.
Welcome to the B2B Experience, brought to you by Big Light, one of Europe's leading experience design agencies. In this podcast series, we speak to digital pioneers in B2B and tell real stories of breaking down barriers and delivering change. I'm Steve Borges, and my guest today is Justin Rinaldi, who began his career as a photographer in minor league baseball before moving to roles in communication and marketing. Today, he's Director of Marketing and E-commerce for America's leading producer of power saws, where he's almost trebled their online revenue. He's an authority on the changing media landscape in B2B marketing and the power of video in particular. I heard him speak on these subjects in Chicago recently, and I had to have him on the podcast so I could find out more. Welcome, Justin.
Thank you, Steve.
Get out with your slightly unconventional career, moving from minor league baseball to B2B e-commerce. Tell me a bit about that.
Yeah, so it's actually there's no standard marketing career these days. I'm no different. I started as a photographer in minor league baseball, did an associate's degree in web development, realized that back end web development was not my passion. Went into graphic communication where I received a degree from Western Illinois University, and then really realized that upon entering the workforce that all the marketing entry level communications roles were centered around the same core media pieces, and I've really grown in my career focusing on the data copywriting, blending so many different areas of foundational marketing aspects into where I'm now director of marketing and e-commerce.
With that varied career, you landed in B2B e-commerce. And I know we've had a conversation about how much you enjoy that. Well, what is it about that world, based on the other places that you've worked, that really caught your interest and has held you there?
Honestly, everything is driven by data. That's the fun part, is that in the present environment, marketers are shaping the how people perceive products, brand loyalty, and it's all driven by data. It's kind of that user experience data integration that is shaping the world, and that's what makes my job so much fun. I love working with large amounts of data and actually getting into why users make behavioral changes. There's no secret in 2025, marketers by far have one of the toughest jobs right now. Everybody now has strong opinions about how we should be doing our job on the marketing side, and that's one of the biggest challenges, but also biggest opportunities for marketers.
I remember seeing you talk with some passion about video and the power of video. Can you tell me about how that interest first came about?
All of our customers, all of our team members internally were asking for more video, and it's an area that I recognized early on that was playing an integrated role in shaping the data silos of how data is presented at the core from some of the larger tech companies, that the video content was being used back 2018, 2019 to really shape the AI based algorithms on highly complex subjects. And we saw such a big shift in how people preferred to receive information, that users would rather receive information from video, and they were retaining it at higher levels than blog posts and copy on web pages. So it really became a core focus that it was creating high levels of media retention within our customer base. It was eliminating questions that kept coming up, even though it was in 10 different spots within a website. And it just was it was a perfect storm on recognizing the need, but also recognizing the value.
Can you give me a kind of grand order of magnitude idea of how much things have shifted?
Everything is an ad delivery network. The search experience within Google, ad delivery network, social media, Instagram, Facebook, X, everything. Every the search platforms have sold out. Social media platforms have sold out from serving social media experiences, and they've sold out to advertisers for to be ad delivery networks, even marketplaces. You look at our favorite ones, they're ad delivery networks. If you go into a large marketplace, I don't need to name them. It takes 5, 6 clicks to actually get to a brand that you initially search for. So that's the biggest shift that from 2010, 2015 is just the democratization of information.
What has the knock on effect of that change been to the way that you have to work to engage with people to answer their questions?
We've had to realign our KPIs, what matters, what doesn't. We've seen just with AI overviews, AI being injected into every user experience, incentivized less traffic. It's incentivizing quality content to be displayed within a platform. Not No longer is it display high quality information to drive traffic, to drive people to the source of the information. It's to drive the awareness and the impressions as being an authoritative voice. As a direct result, we are seeing brand loyalty that's created before a physical product is in hand. And that's a little scary if, you think 5, 10 years ago that you would need to have your hand on a physical product. It's kind of scary that by providing high quality assets across the board, not just video, but having solid reviews and representation, a highly diversified marketing strategy that can create brand loyalty without having physical products in hand.
So just talk to me a little bit. I know I've heard you speak this before about the types of videos that you're producing, the formats they're in, the channels that you put them out, and the purpose that you're trying to, or the customer need that you're trying to or aiming to resolve by creating them.
So the overarching theme is looking at any content that doesn't tell a complete story. Product videos are by far the product marketing videos are by far the easiest win right now. That's where we've seen the biggest growth in terms of media consumption rates on our website. We had an awesome videographer here. He did a great job redoing all of our product videos, and they're creating high media consumption rates, but they're also being picked up by the search engines that enable the data to back it up from the product pages to the video that fills the gap for the AI based technologies. My thing is anything that doesn't change any data point that hasn't changed should be in the marketing video because the data feeds the algorithms and data enables the purchase point. So that's one area. The Another area that we're looking at that I'm currently working on is the overall social front, just how that's changed. It's a little trickier than product videos because within our website we own that user experience. We do not own whatever happens within the search engine. We do not own whatever happens on the marketplace. So the what happens on the website is our unique experience that we are in complete control of. Whatever happens on all the other environments, we're not in control of serving that user experience. So that's where the socials are a little tricky right now. Meta, I believe, has lost 21% of its traffic in the last 3 years. Instagram is dealing with issues from overall aggressive algorithms that have recently been deployed in the last 6 months. And with the social content, we're seeing the short form, even on YouTube, that are under 10, 15 seconds that are winning right now.
In this changing media landscape, particularly with relation to B2B marketing, I think it would be interesting to explore. How do you think the rise of large language models is going to reshape B2B marketing?
I think it's always the large language models have been in use for 10, 15 years. I think it's important to take a step back and look at how far it's come present day. So AI, if we define it, it's computed, augmented, manipulated, deployed, kind of goes in that little wheel. And it's almost every organization agrees that their data should be computed, augmented. But as soon as you start getting to the manipulation and deployment stage of how the data should be used, conflict arises. And that's really where AI AI is meant to reduce conflict. It's not meant to create more conflict. It's supposed to provide workflows and solve every problem we have, but in reality, there are a lot of opinions that get there's not often there's alignment within how AI should be deployed. And that's the biggest concern that I'm seeing on the AI front is that organizations are not in alignment with how the AI solution providers want them to use AI. So I do believe that AI will lead to more personalized purchasing experience. It's already being used for predictive analysis on when people will be able to convert. Location-based tracking, especially here in the United States, is a huge thing for delivering ads based on when people leave physical stores, high intent locations. And it's on the marketing side, it's the opportunities are growing with AI. However, I do think that we will see a little bit of a AI boom where the cost to run some of these technologies is far too much to create sustainable revenue. If AI was having such an impact, some of the larger companies would have already released reports of direct impact of AI-based revenue. And we have not seen that. All we hear is how much it costs, how much it costs. And it's a little scary that the primary conversations on AI are building these hubs and actually getting it off the ground, but there's no direct revenue impact.
What's a specific example of that?
I was on a marketplace and I had searched a specific brand that I was trying to find. They were using one of the AI-based search engines, and the it kept showing me results for competing brands, and I ended up having to try and filter by the brand only to realize that they didn't actually sell the brand I was looking for. So instead of having a UX where it would actually say, if we don't actually carry this brand, here are some brands that would be worth looking at for this. It didn't do that. It provided a UX on where it kept trying to make me feel that I was about to convert on a competing product without actually providing relevance. Another spot are the chatbots. I've implemented chatbots on websites before. In current role, the chatbot on our website has generated over $1 million in new deals 4 to 5 years. And the AI chatbots are struggling on highly technical content that is often considered jargon. I would argue that the biggest downfall with AI in the real world is injecting it into everything because the user experience from automated chatbots, from my experience, has been bad. We've had a high abandonment rate from using the automated chatbots. Rather, when we have a team on the chatbot responding, getting the answer, we have high buy-in. We create branding. We create the user experience of people, even though they're on a website, they're on a chat, that they're actually getting to a live human who can actually solve their problem. And that's with the AI-based chatbots, regardless of what it can crawl and what it can look up. The AI-based chatbots do not serve highly technical content well yet.
What would be your advice for people in B2B marketing who may not have the connections that allow them to network with people who are particularly thought leaders in this area and don't have the technical expertise to sandbox and try and break things, which obviously you have as your position as a fully recovered ex-developer? What should they be doing?
It's trying to establish relationships. And that's a huge part of my network is building a couple of relationships per month. Even on LinkedIn, social networking, there's a huge opportunity for people, especially entry level students straight out of college or people looking at career changes. I talk to different people regularly on that side of it, where just 10, 15 minutes talking. Any business leader is often open to having a quick conversation, sharing what's happening in the world around, because you never know what can happen. Another another thing is I actually, a lot of the AI based platforms are free right now. You look at how Canva and CapCut have eliminated graphic design careers, graphic design majors. Getting into some of the AI based platforms, and actually, not everything is an enterprise level AI based platform, but actually starting conversations. there's no rhyme or reason. It's about growing and honing in on how AI shapes individual careers because that builds relatable skill sets with other opportunities that can arise. Not everything is an enterprise level situation, even for me. A lot of the work that I've done has is a byproduct of having leadership on board, being able to move forward with the data and actually critical thinking. Where in 2025, AI has reduced the dependency of critical thinking. So it's just by being able to establish different plans and different structure dependent on critical thinking. That's a huge trait right now that so many people are missing.
The things that you're talking about, the use of video and pushing forward and responding to the current media landscape, doesn't immediately feel like the sort of thing that a manufacturer of circular saws would be up for. So, how have you managed to bring the organization along with you on this journey to respond to such a rapidly changing landscape?
It all comes down to the pulse check of what our customers need to be able to have all the information that they need. That's what it really boils down to here is that we enable our customers, prospects by providing high quality assets. We are in 2025. Our target customer is anyone with a cell phone and a credit card. It's on us as leaders to actually put those right assets in place that actually create the high media consumption rate and then create the checkout when someone is ready. It's it's important as marketers. Every initiative we are responsible for is backed by data. And it's important that we don't lose sight of aggregated data. That data we have is our key to success. How we present it and leverage it in different initiatives, that is what is changing. It's scraping every data source possible and leading us in the right direction while having our creative freedom to actually put the right processes in place.
Does that mean that you have become a master of packaging up the data to bring it to the rest of the business to show them what needs to happen to respond to it so that you haven't had any resistance as a consequence?
No, we've been extremely disciplined on that side of it. We're just with my background in the web development world, that we initially there by packaging our proprietary the data that we own and showing the results that it could have. The the biggest challenge is actually putting that presentation and the package together that everybody else can understand it. We've seen firsthand that how business is shifting to a fully digital environment. People, the marketing methods from 3, 4 years ago are outdated right now. So if we're not quick on our feet to make quick decisions as technology advances, we're not going to be on our feet in a year. So it's being able to the enablement piece is a huge aspect of all of our jobs. One funny example, a competitor, he used an AI-based platform to create a couple thousand landing pages for local SEO purposes. And then their website traffic dipped 90% overnight, and not overnight, over a 3 week span, because the AI-based algorithms recognized that they were trying to cheat the system by having AI influence decision making and misrepresenting the business because they didn't have 1,000 storefronts. So it's by following the guidelines, but not all, but also avoiding being too gung ho just because something exists out there doesn't mean that we should be doing it.
For B2B marketers who are not currently embracing video or haven't really engaged with the reality of the changes in the media landscape, what should they do?
They should start small. They should identify the biggest opportunity. The simplest thing would be identifying what people are searching for on their own website, what information they can't find. My rule of thumb is everything should be 2 clicks away on desktop. And that's where I started, as figuring out what people were searching for within our website, realizing that we were not serving a holistic user experience when people hit the search bar on our website because it indicated it wasn't clear within the navigation on our website. Another area would be looking at search impressions. What high volume search terms people are actually searching for, and recognizing creating user experiences, video content around the high value search terms that actually serve an audience as opposed to serving a product. That's the sweet spot, is identifying what the overall search volumes and the opportunity share, but starting small and testing at the ground level, but also putting enough care into the structure of the outline of the messaging. That's the key. Is that most product marketing videos shouldn't be more than 90 seconds to 2 minutes, and that's where we're seeing the sweet spot is, even on the marketing videos, no more than 2 minutes. But people are actually, what our average watch time is about minute 45 seconds.
Looking back at your journey over the last 6 years, what's the one thing that you wish you'd known earlier, and what would that have changed if you'd known it?
Overall dependency on data. That's an area that the quality of data is becoming harder and harder to sift through. So putting higher emphasis and actually being more granular with the data, and actually with how many reports are necessary to get to the data right now. It's I wish I would have been a little bit more granular upfront, even in past experiences prior to my current role. It's because data has shaped the world we're living in right now. Without data, we don't have anything. So it there's areas that I wish I would have spent more time learning when I had when opportunities presented themselves. Like even Tableau and some of these data visualization platforms are really coming into the forefront of all businesses.
What would be your advice, your top piece of advice for them as they navigate this fast-moving landscape? Aside from networking, we've talked about that, but what else should they be doing, if anything?
Their target customer should be anyone with a cell phone and credit card. That's So many businesses are struggling because they have such a narrow customer base that they've actually lost sight of what their customer looks like with the persona piece. A target customer is anyone with a cell phone and a credit card these days. It's up to marketers, whether it's B2B, B2C, to provide the right assets, to provide the right journey that enable the media consumption rates, which ultimately enable the purchase.
Fascinating. A few things that I take out from our conversation so far is really how much has changed in the media landscape since 2020, and how it was a pivotal point that hasn't pivoted back. In particular, the power of, as I saw when I saw you talk about it, the power of video content to solve a whole bunch of problems. First and foremost, of course, the most important is answering customers' questions so that they can have a better buying experience, but also not have it's easy to think about the cost impact of people contacting you with questions, but actually it's also more convenient just to get the answer, isn't it, than having to do that in the first place. The power of video to grow loyalty, and I like this idea or this reality of loyalty can be earned just even before a product is in hand, and the changing view of how it can help us change our view of conversion and look at broader topics, and how also it's a necessity because, of course, if this is the way that the AI models are gathering information, if you're not there, then you're not visible, I guess. But also the overall changing media landscape, and how the platforms that you've described, who I won't name, who you've described as ad serving platforms, that have moved us really from an era of true discovery to pay to play. And I also like the idea of data being the fun part. Not everyone says that, Justin, but there we are. And your central philosophy, I think, which is regardless of your customer in 2025, we should be doing things that with a cell phone and a credit card, they can achieve their objectives. So a fascinating conversation, quite disturbing in some areas, but fascinating nonetheless. So I've got one final question for you. So what's one buzzword or a trend that's overhyped in B2B at the moment, B2B digital at the moment, that you wish would disappear, and why?
I guess headless. I guess, so many companies use it as it's just a conversation starter where, because of how ominous the overall word is, headless within e-commerce experiences, it's really just a conversation starter that leads to more confusion.
I'm with you on that. Justin, thank you very much. It's been a great conversation. Most of it I've understood. Some of it's gone over my head, I have to say, but I've done my best. It's been a great conversation. It's good to catch up with you again. We had a good chat at B2B Online, and hopefully we'll be able to catch up soon. Well, that's it for this episode. If you enjoyed it, then please don't forget to hit subscribe and to share it with your network. And if you'd like to find out more about how Big Light helps its clients discover the needs of their customers and deliver experiences that meet them, then check out our website or follow us on LinkedIn. I'll see you next time.